This is a live presentation of the Ticats Audio Network. Are you ready? Ticats football is on the air.
Touchdown, Tiger-Cats! Caught it! It's a touchdown!
Number 17, Luke Tasker, what a catch!
Now the voice of the Tiger-Cats. Here is RJ Broadhead with analyst Luke Tasker.
It's playoff time. Welcome to the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you with us, and we've talked about this ever since the season started. And Coach Joe has said it. Stick with us. We'll get to this point. They're in the playoffs. It is a road playoff game for a second straight season in Montreal, and the Tiger-Cats are looking for a different result than 1 year ago. And the Tiger-Cats are going to be wearing white tops, black pants, and the Alouettes in the same uniforms they were in last week, all blue with the red trim. And the Tiger-Cats, it's got a much different feel going into this game than even last season, Luke. Even though they haven't won a game against the Alouettes this year, they've lost 6 in a row against the Alouettes, including that East semifinal, but it doesn't feel like they've been dominated by the Alouettes.
No, it doesn't, and we've actually seen some good play at times from the Alouettes, but it's always come up short in this last year. Like you said, it's actually 6 straight losses. Cody Fajardo coming off a pretty good season with the Alouettes, and he's got a great streak against the Ticats as well. He's 6-1 in his career against Hamilton, but you do have an exciting feeling from these Ticats. It's sort of easy to put last week's loss in Montreal to bed. It was a meaningless game in the statistics, and this is a team now ready to make a playoff run here and an East Division sort of return home. Montreal to Toronto and hopefully to a Hamilton Grey Cup in 2 weeks from now.
Tiger-Cats finished with an 8-10 record, Luke, and it's pretty fascinating when you look at those 10 losses. 7 of them were against Toronto and Montreal. They're the only 2 teams the Tiger-Cats have not beaten in the CFL this season, but to get to the Grey Cup, they have to win 1 against each of those teams.
Yeah, that is an interesting stat. Not the way it's been for the Hamilton Tiger-Cats over the past decade or so. It was always the West that posed the biggest threat. And of course, Winnipeg's a great team this year. BC, a good team. Both of those, though, the Ticats have beaten this season. And it is Toronto who is, outrightly, I would say, had the best regular season in the CFL. And then this Montreal Alouette team that's ready to have a face-off here today. That's been the biggest challenges for the Ticats. But it's just so fitting of Orlando Steinauer and his Ticat teams over the past years just getting better as the season goes along. And I think that they are primed and ready today to put on the best football game that we've seen this year. You finally got a choice that the Ticats were able to make at the quarterback position, as opposed to being cornered into a situation due to injury. They've selected Matt Schultz to be the guy, and I'm excited to watch him play.
So the coin toss about to get set. Dylan Wynn staring across at the Alouettes. He's one of the captains. Bailey Feltmake, Brandon Revenberg, Gordon White, Fraser Sopik, Simone Lawrence, all out there for the Tiger-Cats. Tim Croker is the referee. Dylan Wynn right by Tim Croker, and it looks like he'll make the call.
Man, this coin we're using for the coin toss today, the LCF logo is
Mike
heads.
Pringle.
The club logo is tails. Hamilton, you're the visiting team. What is your
Tim
call?
Croker.
Heads the call. Hamilton is called heads. Mike, please flip the coin. Hamilton is called head. It is a head, and you've won the toss. And you want to receive the football? Where what end would you like to kick from? So you want to switch sides, please. Hamilton has won the toss. We'll choose to receive in the first half. Good luck, man.
All right, so Hamilton will get the football to begin the East semifinal. First playoff game of 2023 is here in Montreal. There'll be the West semifinal coming up following this game, but with the Tiger-Cats receiving, do you like that, Luke, after what happened last week?
Exactly. I knew you were going to bring that up. The Ticats did receive to start a week ago, and of course, Montreal Alouettes scored a touchdown shortly after a turnover there. I do like the call, though, and I think that you've seen Orlando Steinauer favor taking the ball as of late, and I think for a long time the decision was to defer. That was sort of a trend for a while, and I think we're going back to a Coach O that wants the football right away and wants to give his offense a quick chance.
And something along those lines that might be influencing the decision is get the ball early and try to score, because that has been difficult for the Tiger Cats. They only have 47 points in the first quarter this season. That's an average of about 2.5 points a game. That's not enough in the regular season. If they're going to win in the postseason, they have to get off to better starts.
Yep, and I think also Matt Schultz, get him on the field quickly and let's see how it goes. Give him a chance to get back into the mix here. It's been a few weeks since he's been in action. You also see on the field now Bo Levi Mitchell warming up as well, so we'll see how the balance progresses tonight, but it will be Matt Schultz to get the first try at least.
That's a good point, Luke. With that bye week and then not playing last week, the last action that Matt Schultz saw was October 13th against BC, so it has been a while, but the last 3 games that he's come in, he's led a touchdown drive. And he hasn't started those games. He's come in relief. Let's see if, as a starter, he can lead a touchdown drive. Tiger Cats all set to receive. It's a sunny day in Montreal, about 8 degrees, the wind gusting out of the southwest, 10 to 20 kilometers an hour. David Cote kicks it off. Tyreek McAllister, the Tiger Cats Special Teams Player of the Year, gets it at his own 18. He's now up across the 30 to 35, and the Alouettes push him near their sideline and able to get the angle on him and bring him down just past the 35, a little short of the 40.
Not bad starting field position. You want to get it out past that 30-yard line, and they made it out almost to the 40 here, like you said, just on the edge of the shadows, actually.
Is that a factor, Luke, about half the field in shadow, half the field in sunshine?
This is actually the moment in the day when it is a factor, RJ, and it's actually not favorable for the Ticats' direction right now. As a receiver to Matt Schultz's right, this would be a difficult angle here on a deep ball. We'll see if that comes into play at all.
Tiger Cats going from right to left. James Butler, he's had a little time off and looks healthy and spry. A little juke move as he faked to the right and then cut up the middle, and he gets a good gain on the opening first down for the Tiger Cats. Will be a couple of yards short of this first down.
Very nice gain. I like that play. I think Matt Schultz had options. Actually, Matt Schultz is leaving the field now for a short yardage attempt. He had options both way with wide receiver screens and an RPO option to draw to James Butler.
This is a play you talk about a lot, Luke. 2nd and 1. Kai Loxley has come in. He has been very good in short yardage, and he gets 2 or 3 yards. That should be plenty for the first down, and Loxley does it again for the Tiger Cats. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling, and that first down matches the total the Tiger Cats had in the first half last week.
That's a little bit alarming, that stat,
is.
As we're a minute and 20 seconds into this game, but a nice fresh set of downs here for Matt Schultz.
Schultz back in the game. He's in the shotgun. He's wearing number 18, the usual 18 for Matt Schultz. It's another handoff to James Butler. He runs to the right, and the Alouettes are scrambling, but Butler's not going down, and he squeezed another 2 or 3 yards. Might have got 4 on that carry, but he was hit right at the line of scrimmage and just would not go down.
Yeah, heavy set personnel in there, and they had the line loaded up. They actually had an extra man on the line of scrimmage. You know, that's effectively saying we are going to run the football here. They did. Nice gain by James Butler and some playoff physicality, RJ, already coming through. You can see it on the outside, blocking, guys ending up on the ground, getting the last shove. We're in for a good fight here.
2nd and 5 here for the Tiger Cats. They're up to their own 53, right near midfield on the far hash mark. Matt Schultz back to pass. His first throw of the game is complete across midfield. It is enough for the first down, caught by Terry Godwin. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down.
Great job by Terry Godwin. Gets up to his depth, 1.5 yards past the sticks, and runs a square in route there underneath Tim White's deeper mid-level in-breaking route, and good timing by Schultz to get that first completion.
Tiger Cats, they're across midfield. They're in Montreal territory on the Montreal 50. This is the opening drive of the East semifinal. Tiger Cats going from right to left, trying to pick apart this Montreal defense. Not easy. A pass parallel over to Tyreek McAllister. He runs down the sideline, and he's going to be very close to a first down.
You hear that yelling there on the sidelines as Tyreek McAllister moves down and moves the chains again, and that's Wesley Sutton, the halfback for the Alouettes, being yelled at by an entire sidelines of Ticat players. That's a third first down on the drive for the Ticats.
Tiger Cats keep it rolling with that first down presented by Active Green and Ross. They're now down to the Montreal 40. Matt Schultz under center, hands off to James Butler, who got a good head of steam before he barrels through the line of scrimmage and ends up with about a 3-yard run.
Here's that field position, RJ, that I often talk about. You've got the ball up to the Alouette 37. Right here, this makes for a 44, 45-yard field goal. It's second down. What you can't afford to do is take a sack here. You cannot take a tackle for a loss. And incompletions, okay, you've got your points with Mark Leggio on a field goal. You want to get your first down and ensure that you do not take a loss here.
2nd and 7, 3 receivers to the left for Matt Schultz. That's where he looks, he throws, he completes it to Keandre Smith. And he's dropped the football, and Montreal has it. He had enough for the first down. We'll see what the call is, whether Keandre Smith was down or not. That would be a third fumble in 4 games for Keandre Smith.
Yep, sure enough, it will be a fumble, and that has been an ongoing problem with Keandre Smith.
11:03 to go. Tiger Cats turn it over on their opening drive. No score. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats with a fumble. Keandre Smith on that opening drive that was looking so promising, taking 4 minutes off the clock into Montreal territory, but Avery Williams stripped the ball away from Keandre Smith, and Montreal wound up with it. They have really dominated the turnover battle against the Tiger Cats this season. So Montreal takes over on their own 33. They're going from left to right. Hand off to Williams, stand back, and he started to the right, then he tried to cut up the middle. Decent gain, he'll be close to 5 yards.
Wow, I mean, it's such a productive offensive drive. That Matt Schultz and his crew's effort there was, they were controlling the line of scrimmage, they were controlling the clock, they had a great handle on that, but you can't outplay turnovers, and this defense needs to come up big to give Matt Schultz another chance.
Montreal 11 wins this season, most they've had in over a decade. Cody Fajardo on this 2nd and 5 from the Montreal 38, throws to the near sideline and completes the pass to Tyler Snead. He breaks a tackle and turns it into a big gain down into Hamilton territory, right down near the Hamilton 35.
Yeah, pass was thrown
45 rather.
Pass was thrown just beyond the first down marker there, but great run after the catch by Snead as he breaks the tackle and gets an extra 15, 20 yards, almost in field goal range already.
And this ball came loose too.
Yeah, I think they had blown it dead already.
And he had stepped out of bounds.
Exactly, yes.
So he was brought down near the 35, but he stepped out at the 45. But Montreal moving the ball. Here's a run up the middle by Stanback, and it'll be another 4 or 5 yards for him.
So same field position the Ticats found themselves in just a few plays ago. They're Montreal now on the Ticats 40. Worst field goal percentage in the league, the Montreal Alouettes, throughout the regular season. This would make a 47-yarder. Wonderful to see some Mark Washington pressure here with this Ticat defense to try to prevent a field goal opportunity.
Ball on the Hamilton 41. It's a 2nd and 5. Cody Fajardo has 3 receivers to the right. He's looking left, though, looking left, and he's running out of time. They get to him. He's sacked, and the ball came loose. Malik Carney scooped with the sack. Another one of the Tiger Cats who got last week off, and Malik Carney with a big play to bring down Fajardo. Looks like Montreal jumped on this loose football.
That's right, the ball did come out. Montreal recovered, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now they have a tough decision to make, and they're going to punt. Interestingly, worst They had the worst field goal percentage throughout the season. They actually also then have the best net punt average on the season.
Right.
And Zima last week controlled a lot of that game with his foot in the punting game here. We'll see how the Ticats receive this now with 2 returners back to try to get this in air.
We talked about it on Ticats this week on the Ticats Audio Network, Luke. If Cote's 13 misses this year would play a factor. Zima with a high punt. It bounces in the end zone. Terry Godwin and Tyreek McAllister are back there. Godwin takes a knee. And Zima, he was clearly trying to hem the Tiger Cats deep. It'll end up being a point for Montreal, and they score first in the East semifinal. 8:08 to go in the opening quarter. It's 1-0 Montreal. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you with us on the Ticats Audio Network for the East semifinal. RJ Broadhead and Luke Tasker. It is early in this game, not even halfway through the opening quarter. Montreal leads 1-0. Joseph Zima tried to hem the Tiger Cats deep. Alouettes chose not to go for a long field goal. David Cote's missed 13 this year, so they tried to punt. Tiger Cats will begin this drive from their own 40. Screen pass to James Butler, and he dances over a couple of Alouettes and will end up with a gain of 2 or 3.
Ticats offense with a big body personnel in there. Bailey Feltmate in that mix as well, and then you're facing a Montreal with a 3-man rush. It seems like they still have that personnel on the field there, so one added defender in that secondary, taking a little bit off of that front rush, which is surprising to me. They had a great success in their pressure early in last week's match.
2nd and 8 for the Tiger Cats from their own 42. Matt Schultz, 3 receivers to the right. Looks that way initially, and then he dumps it down to Tyreek McAllister. Has some blocking in front of him. He's across midfield, down inside the Montreal 50. Tyreek McAllister, a first down and more. Presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
How well executed that screen was. That is playoff level efficiency. Brandon Revenberg, Coulter Woodmansey way out wide. That 3-man rush from Montreal got into the backfield, which is just what you want on a screenplay, and great job McAllister to make that happen.
Tiger Cats moving the football again. They give it back to James Butler, stiff arm, and then he ends up being very close to another first down. James Butler is rock solid out there.
That was Wesley Sutton, the halfback, who got stiff-armed to the ground there. Actually the same player who came up with the forced fumble on the first drive from the Hamilton Tiger Cats. At this time, James Butler with a wonderfully timed stiff arm there to get up for a nice gain of 9.
Guy Loxley comes in, short yardage. He's under center, waves his right arm, then taps his right foot. Juts off to the right, and Guy Loxley, well, it's a battle for the football with Reggie Stubblefield, and Loxley is so strong, he would not let it go, and he ended up with about 4 yards on that short yardage play.
He did. That was great. And he actually takes a step back. He's a little bit more patient than a lot of guys are with this short yardage. He kind of lets the blocking develop, and he got a nice gain there. It was a 2nd and half a yard. He got more than that.
Tiger Cats keep it rolling with that first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. Kai Loxley has been an important piece to this Tiger Cats offense. So good on short yardage. Matt Schultz went up to the line of scrimmage, then dropped back into the shotgun. He's going to keep it. He's running off to the right. He's got a seam, and he'll slide just inside the 25. It's another first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
What a great job by Schultz. Patient with the ball while he's still in the backfield. That was a true option there. James Butler was out to his right, ready to have the pitch, and Matt Schultz keeps the ball himself inside of that right tackle and then smartly slides just short of the first down. Really, really smart play.
Tiger Cats threatening again, just under 5 minutes to go. In the opening quarter, they're going to say he was a little bit short of the first down, so Kai Loxley comes in again and gets another short yardage play of 3 or 4 for the first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
I don't like all these wasted 2nd and shorts. That's 3 already in the first half for the Ticats. And you mentioned it earlier in this game, and it's such an opportunity in the CFL. The offensive and defensive line have to be a yard away from each other. And that's second and short. I want to see some trick short yardage.
But haven't they set Montreal up
They
for
have.
a trick short yardage?
They have, and Loxley has proven that it's a done deal when he goes for it. So we'll see if we have a little trickery later in the game, maybe.
Sean Thomas Erlington, who had 80 yards and a touchdown last week against Montreal, gets his first touch. The Montreal native, little off to the right with that run. He'll get a gain of 1 or 2. Sean Thomas Erlington said to us in the post-game last week that he loves playing in Montreal. He's got a little extra step, a little extra energy when it comes to playing at home. I'll give him 2 yards on that run. Tiger Cats are down to the Montreal 18. It's a 2nd and 8. Montreal leads the game 1-0. 3.5 to go, opening quarter. Still early in this East semifinal. Empty backfield. Schultz throws, low pass, no problem. Sean Thomas Erlington makes the catch, and he's going to be held short of the first down, it appears.
Reggie Stubblefield on the tackle there from a Sam linebacker position. So now Mark Leggio is going to have to come on and have an attempt here to take the lead for the Ticats, but that is a good offensive drive. Settling for a field goal. They got to 3rd and 5 on the 16-yard line, but they moved down the field very well, like they did on their first drive. You can't win. You can't outplay your turnovers, and they've got to keep that going. But I've been impressed with Matt Schultz.
Montreal's defense is their strength, and the Tiger Cats offenses look good on the 2 opening drives. Unfortunately, a turnover on the first drive. Here is Mark Leggio's field goal attempt. It is up, it is good, and Mark Leggio has hit 13 in a row, and the Tiger Cats have their first lead of the Eastern semifinal in Montreal. Low scoring, 3-1. Tiger Cats are ahead. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats offense has been moving the football, and they get rewarded. A Mark Leggio 23-yard field goal, and the Tiger Cats lead the Eastern semifinal 3-1. Now it's handed off to the defense, and the defense was so good and really has been a strength for the Tiger Cats this season, Luke.
Yeah, good stop to the end of that first drive there after an explosive play to Sneed. Montreal back on their own 40 to start this one.
Cody Fajardo heading toward the sun in the quarterback's face. Gets the snap, throws immediately to that far sideline, completes it to Austin Mack. It looks like about a 6-yard gain. He was led out of bounds with the pass, so no chance to advance. So 6 yards for Austin Mack. He was the 5th leading receiver in the CFL. Tim White led the CFL in receiving yards. We haven't seen him with a reception yet in this game. And they come in bunches, and they can come on explosive plays for Tim White. We know that. 2nd and 4 from the Montreal 46, and Simone Lawrence. He brings down William Standback, and he'll be short of the first down. A great 2-and-out here from the Tiger Cats defense.
Excellent job again. 10 in last week's game. That's 2-and-outs for the Ticat defense, and now they've got one here, forcing Zima back on the field to punt.
Simone Lawrence, forever 21.
That's him. Always unbelievable energy and excitement and production this year as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Great season.
Down the stretch, and I remember talking to him, Luke, and hey, Simone, your numbers are great. It's just that time of year. He knows.
Yeah.
And he is just missing the Grey Cup on that resume. 10th all-time in tackles. Zima's punt bounces. Tyreek McAllister takes it after a couple of hops, and he'll get up to the Tiger Cats 25, but no further than that. Tiger Cats, fresh off taking the lead, get a quick 2-and-out from the defense, led by Simone Lawrence, and the Tiger Cats and Matt Schultz offense is back on the field. When we come back, it's 3-1 Tiger Cats. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Sounds like Simone's done that a few times this year. 5 sacks on the season for Simone Lawrence, and that was a big stop on William Standback to get the ball back for the Tiger Cats. Matt Schultz and the Tiger Cats beginning from their own 25. Tiger Cats lead 3-1. We're late in the opening quarter. Long pass. Took a long time to get there. Tim White was the intended target, and Kabian Ento was all over it. And he had the best chance at that football. Couldn't make the catch.
That's right, Tim White on a little speed out route there, short of the sticks, but Kabian Ento laying out to get a hand on it. You almost thought for a second there was going to be enough time for him to get an interception. Not the case, though. Matt Schultz with a 2nd and 10 here on his own 25.
Seeing the replay, that would have been a miraculous interception.
It would have been, yeah. He did a great job laying out for it.
Yeah, you got a hand on it and broke it up. So 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Tiger Cats, white tops, black pants. Schultz back to pass, throws, and that's tipped. It's tipped and goes incomplete. So the Montreal defense that looked vulnerable on the first 2 drives looked very strong on this one.
So still 3-1 Ticats here. This game started both teams their first drive on their own 38-yard lines, followed by both teams from their 40-yard lines. Now you've got a little bit of a mismatch here. The Ticats are backed up, and this punt, we'll see how well Vedvik's able to flip the field here. But it's a lot of field in front of him.
Corey Vedvik standing on his own 10. Bailey Feltmate, Felix Garon-Gauthier, Fraser Sopit. They just went up to talk to Gordon White, the long snapper. And there's the kick by Vedvik. It's a good one, too. That'll send Fletcher Jr. back to his own 40, but he's across midfield, the 50, and Vedvik in on that tackle. It's a good return for Montreal. They will be right near the Hamilton 45-yard line. James Fletcher Jr. getting Montreal in a good spot with that punt return.
Yeah,
it was tough last week, too.
It
With
was.
that punt return touchdown.
You're absolutely right. Montreal is winning the punting battle from last week's game and even carrying into this week. And Montreal does have the best opponent punt return average. Hamilton with the worst punt return average. So that's a bit of a mismatch statistically there. And of course, we've already said Montreal has the best net punting themselves. So this field position here, huge for Montreal.
Hamilton defense digging in, beginning this drive from the Hamilton 45. Throw from Fajardo completes it to Austin Mack. There were a few Tiger Cats around, but he caught it in traffic. It's a first down to the Hamilton 35, or maybe just inside the Hamilton 35. We're through 1/4 of the Eastern semifinal, and the Tiger Cats lead. They've won every game this season that they've led after the first quarter. We'll see if they can keep that streak going. Long way to go. 3-1 after 1/4 in Montreal. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Second quarter about to get underway in Montreal. Alouettes have the football, and they are threatening. They are down to the Hamilton 35, a handoff, and this run defense has been excellent. Casey Sales in there, as was Big Ted Laurent, to bring down William Stanback, a minimal gain of a couple of yards.
Ted Laurent, great to see him. We talked about Simone Lawrence, both 2 of the longest tenured Ticats, and still coming up big and making plays here.
Tiger Cats leading 3-1 after the first quarter. Still, Tiger Cats just 3 touchdowns in the first quarter this season. 2nd and 8 for Montreal from the Hamilton 33. Tiger Cats would love to get a stop here. Fajardo back to pass. Pressure's coming. He gets rid of the football. Has a receiver. Philpott. He made the catch and he fumbled, and Stanback picks up the fumble. I think they're saying that's an incomplete pass, Luke.
And that's no problem there. What a great forced incompletion by Will Sunderland with just really well-timed contact there on Philpott as he's trying to secure the catch. It was close to a fumble. I mean, he really secured the ball with his hands, just had no time to make a football move or tuck the ball completely, so it is an incompletion. Great job again by this Ticat defense on a very short field, forcing a field goal attempt.
Will Sunderland has been excellent. So this is a 40-yard field goal attempt. David Cote has missed 13 field goals this season, including 4 in 3 games against the Tiger Cats. The 40-yarder is up, and it is just inside the left upright. He's successful on the field goal, but that was centimeters away from hitting the upright. Montreal takes the lead again, 4-3, so a low-scoring Eastern semifinal. Early in the second quarter, 4-3, Montreal leads the Tiger Cats. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Schultz in the offense. Tyreek McAllister gets the handoff, and he runs to the left. He'll get about 7 yards. And Now Matt Schultz back to pass, and he throws this one out of bounds. So the Tiger Cats are going to have to punt. So a quick 2 and out early in this second quarter. Corey Vedvik punts. James Letcher Jr. gets the punt, and he runs right up the numbers. Tiger Cats have him corralled, and it's a pretty good job by the Tiger Cats punt return team. Looks like he'll get up to about the 25-yard line, so the Tiger Cats do a good job on this field position battle, Luke.
Yeah, they do, able to flip the field a little bit there, and unfortunately just a quick 2 and out, very quick actually, and defense back on to do what they've done. But again, I think it was an unusually impressive game from the defense. I mean, statistically unusual defensive game last week. Not to the same extent tonight, but I think you're still seeing a Hamilton defense that's controlling what they can very well and not giving up much to this Montreal offense.
You can tell Montreal's really trying to establish the run. William Stanback, 3 runs for 9 yards. So the Tiger Cats have eliminated that. Fajardo has gone 3 for 3 for 43 yards in this low-scoring Eastern semifinal, where a couple of minutes into the second quarter, it's 4-3 for the Alouettes. So more of a hockey score than a football score, as we're now 12 minutes and 42 seconds away from halftime. But we expected the defenses to be strong in this one. Montreal taking over from their own 25. They were able to score on their last drive. David Cote hit a 40-yard field goal to get Montreal back in front by 1. And here's the run again. Stanback right up the middle, and a lot of the white, gold, and black right there of the Tiger Cats defense. And he'll only end up with maybe 3 yards on that run.
So these are two of the strongest defenses in the league, Montreal and Hamilton's. We have not seen many throws down the field. You saw a great run after a catch by Sneed of Montreal in the first quarter here, but we have not seen passes beyond 20 yards by Fajardo or Schultz. But at some point here, these coordinators and quarterbacks are going to start taking a shot, trying to bust this thing open a little bit.
2nd and 6 here for the Alouettes from their own 32. Fajardo drops back to pass, looking left the whole time, and he's got Tyson Philpott makes the catch, and he gets across the 40. It's good for a Montreal first down.
Philpott to the far left of the Montreal offense. Little hitch route on the sidelines, catches it just before the first down, and Will Sunderland not able to close the gap before he gains enough yards to move the chains and get a little closer to midfield here for the Montreal offense.
Philpott, the 3rd leading receiver for the Alouettes this season. Now they're up to their own 43. Here's another handoff to Stanback. Started to the left, tried to cut up the middle, and Jamal Davis, his former teammate, makes the tackle, and they go helmet to helmet after that. Jamal Davis, he said he likes to talk on the field. That might have been more than just a little talking.
Yes, it was. He made the tackle coming in from the outside. Actually, it's still a decent gain there from Stanback, but yeah, he kind of let him know a little bit more about it after the whistle blew.
Jamal Davis wasn't happy with how things ended for him in Montreal, and he's excited to be a Tiger Cat, and he wants to have a big game. That stops Stanback with a gain of 5. So 2nd and 5 here for Montreal from their own 48. Fajardo scrambling, running to the right, throws on the run, and completes it to the fullback, and he gets a big gain. Jameer Thurman had to track him down and push James Tuck out of bounds right at the Tiger Cats sideline. But the fullback keeps this drive alive for Montreal. Now they're in Hamilton territory.
Well, it was Cody Fajardo rolling to his right, and then Chris Edwards, Sam linebacker, has to make a decision if he's going to come up and try to take the space away from Cody Fajardo or follow James Tuck, the fullback, out to the flat. He chooses to chase down Fajardo, who obviously dumps it there to Tuck for a nice gain, and unfortunately a few missed tackles on the back end of that as well.
All of a sudden, Montreal is on the Hamilton 41. Fajardo, a quarterback keeper. He doesn't run that often, but this is a big one. He's inside the Hamilton 15 and finally goes out of bounds. He caught the Tiger Cats off guard. They weren't expecting a Fajardo run, and turns into a big gain for Montreal.
Yeah, you're exactly right. In fact, Casey Sales, one of the front four there, was actually dropped into coverage to the weak side of the field. A big area vacated up front there for Fajardo, who takes advantage of it. A little pass to a fullback for a big first down, a few missed tackles, followed by an unlikely run from Fajardo, and this Montreal offense has found themselves deep into Ticat territory.
Shadows getting long on the field. Montreal's down to the Hamilton 14. Check down to Stanback. Jameer Thurman gets there right away, and Will Sunderland went and grabbed the football that was laying there after the incomplete pass, but the whistle had gone.
Again, we saw a similar play with Sneed on the sidelines. Actually, it was Tyson Philpott, I believe. Nearly looked like a fumble, but bang, bang. Jameer Thurman's right there, and they're going to call it an incompletion instead.
What's interesting is they didn't give Fajardo an incompletion initially on the stats for that Philpott pass. Here's a 2nd and 10 from the 14. Fajardo running again. Jamal Davis stretches out, and he makes the tackle from behind. Davis used all 6'4" of his reach to make that tackle. Alouettes are a little short of the first down. How short are they?
Let's see what they choose here. There you go. You saw Fajardo think he was going to stay on the field there and go for it on this 3rd down, and he gets the call from the sidelines for this David Cote field goal crew to come onto the field.
Montreal leading 4-3. 9 minutes to go in the half. David Cote setting up for a 15-yard field goal attempt. He's already hit from 40 yards. Cote getting all set. There's the snap, Zima the hold, little chip shot for Cote. That's no problem. He's good from 15 yards, and Montreal increases their lead. It's now 7-3 for the Alouettes with 8:43 to go in the half. We'll take a break and be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Montreal leading the semifinal 7-3. Love to find out where you're listening from on the Ticats Audio Network. We appreciate all our listeners. You can let us know. Game day at ticats.ca. There was a Ticats party. A lot of the fans went to Ye Old Orchard Pub in Prince Arthur. The kitchen staff is listening as they're getting their yummy goodies ready for everybody. Thanks for listening. Stuart Wilkes in Brooklyn, New York. Amazing. Great to have you, Stuart. Jim Gamble, tailgating in Vineland. And Luke, you have an invitation to stop by on your way home.
Oh, perfect. I know the exit. I'll be there, Stuart. I love that. Or sorry, Jim. That's Jim. I wonder the tailgate though. An away game tailgate is an interesting method. I love it.
Tons of fun. And Sue McBride in Aurelia. I was recently just in Aurelia. So her house is being painted. The TV is covered. She's listening on ticats.ca.
Resourceful.
Sue, great to have you listening. Tiger Cats offense is on the field, trailing by 4 with 8.5 to go in the half. James Butler gets the handoff, tries to go up the middle. Not much there. Tackled after a gain of about 1 by Lawal Uguak.
Well, we'll see. This is back-to-back 2-and-outs coming into this drive. The first quarter, we saw some production from Matt Schultz from the Hamilton offense. No touchdowns in the game actually yet, but a little bit of a stall out here in the second quarter, and one of these receivers to come up with a conversion here would be big.
Nothing to Tim White yet as far as a completion. 2nd and 10. Tiger Cats on their own 40. Matt Schultz waves his right arm in the air. In the shotgun, stamps his right foot. He's throwing and throwing deep. It's Terry Godwin makes the catch, and he's in a sea of Alouettes. And he stayed on his feet for a while. He's down near the 40. It's a great catch by Terry Godwin. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down.
Wow, Matt Schultz took quite the shot right before releasing this football. 5-man rush from the Alouettes. Just enough time to get rid of this, and man, it's Wesley Sutton who comes in from a halfback blitz, and Schultz is in some pain, but a huge completion to Terry Godwin there.
Matt Schultz missed a lot of time after getting injured in Edmonton fairly early in the season on a similar play. Here's a handoff on the fly sweep to Tim White, trying to get to the outside, but Ruffin makes a good tackle and brings him down. Won't be much there for Tim White.
Yeah, tried to cut outside there, the open field block. It's always very very difficult to pick the leverage of the block, which shoulder you want to stay on, not knowing where Tim White or that ball carrier is going to go, but still a 3-yard gain. That was a 30-yard pass a play go to Terry Godwin. Just what a great job converting that 2nd and 10.
Hamilton up to the Montreal 37. This is a 2nd and 7. Just under 6.5 to go in the opening half. Montreal leads by 4. Matt Schultz drops back to pass, throws to the right, and it is caught by Keandre Smith. And it is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Nice job at the top of the route here. Keandre Smith putting on the brakes and coming back to the outside, protecting the football. He had a huge fumble early in this game going the other direction. He secures it that time for another first down.
Getting him back in the game. A nice catch, over 700 yards receiving for Keandre Smith, the 3rd leading receiver for the Tiger Cats this season. Fresh set of downs from the Montreal 29. Tiger Cats trying to get the lead back. It's 7-3 Montreal. Matt Schultz gets the snap, fakes the handoff. He's got some time. He'll check it down, but he misses. James Butler with a pass, and Reggie Stubblefield, the great rookie for the Alouettes. He was right there anyway. If Butler had made the catch, probably would have been a loss.
Yeah, nice protection there from the Ticats, and that's not an easy thing to do against Montreal's defense. They have a very, very strong rush, and if they bring an extra player like we saw with Matt Schultz on this drive, they are effective getting to the quarterback. That time, Schultz steps up nicely, but nothing coming open for him downfield.
2nd and 10 from the Montreal 29. Tiger Cats trying for the first touchdown of the game. Matt Schultz drops back to pass. Again, he's got time, throws a high pass, and that one is knocked away by Wes Sutton. It was intended for Keandre Smith. It goes incomplete, and the Tiger Cats will have to attempt a field goal.
Yeah, just a little bit late getting down to Keandre Smith after having his eyes downfield there. And if that ball is low into the outside, Keandre Smith probably has a chance to come up with a reception. Sutton in place to bat it down as it came in a little high, though, and Leggio lining up for what will be something like a 46, 47-yarder. Just trading back and forth, field position and field goals.
Looks like a 36-yard.
Yeah, excuse me, 36-yarder here, yeah.
Yard attempt for Mark Leggio. Gordon White, the long snapper. Corey Vedvik, the punter, is the holder. White's snap is good. The hold is there. Leggio's kick is perfect. It's right down the middle. And Mark Leggio has hit 14 in a row. And the Tiger Cats close the gap. It's just a 1-point lead for the Alouettes now. There's 4:47 left before halftime. 7-6. Montreal leads in the Eastern semifinal. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you with us for the Eastern semifinal. Montreal leads Hamilton 7-6. There has not been a touchdown scored yet. Montreal finished 2nd in the East Division with 11 wins. Tiger Cats finished with an 8-10 record in the regular season for the 2nd straight season. And if you go back to the shortened 2021 season, it's 3 straight years where the Tiger Cats finished with 8 wins. This is the game that matters. Montreal currently leading by a point, and they have the football. Fajardo, he was scrambling and tried to check it down and had a little too much on it and threw it to an open spot. That was dangerous, but fortunately for Fajardo, that went incomplete.
It was. He sort of was throwing it away while dodging a hit from Simone Lawrence, I think it was as well. Either way, 2nd and 10 for the Ticat defense.
4.5 minutes to go before halftime. Simone Lawrence right there again in Fajardo's face. He has been motivated in this game. Not a surprise. He wants to get to that Grey Cup that'll take place at Tim Hortons Field on November 19th. Fajardo on this 2nd and 10 from their own 40. He just does a chest pass, shovels it ahead. Stavros Katsantonis is able to make the tackle.
Oh, wow.
Jake Hardy made the catch and went head over heels, and this will be a little bit short of the first down. Not much, though. This will be a big decision for Jason Moss.
Yeah, they're keeping the offense out there, looks like, and do a short yardage here, or at least call a hard snap count and see if they can maybe get the Ticats to jump.
We've seen this before with the Tiger Cats coming up with a big third and short stop. This ball is on the Montreal 49. Under center, Caleb Evans. Oh boy, he didn't have it initially, but a second effort, he's able to get it. Looked like Tiger Cats might have had the stop, but he kept the legs moving and does get the first down for Montreal.
Well, the Ticat defense is making them go down the field the hard way here. The previous drives, we've seen a couple big chunks of yardage from the Montreal offense, but each time the Ticat defense bringing drives to an end before anyone gets into the end zone. You'd love to see this Ticat defense force Zima back on the field to punt here.
Alouettes up to their own 51. Handoff to Stanback, and he is stood up again. There's 3-4 Tiger Cats right there, including Malik Carney, who gets up and gets right in the face of Stanback. Jameer Thurman there as well. Dexter Lawson. Whole bunch of Tiger Cats helping out.
Well, let's see. You've seen this 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 converted by Montreal with checkdowns frequently in this game. It's not the first decision, not a deep throw, but you've seen it happen to fullbacks and to checkdowns, and Fajardo on his feet. We'll see what the Ticat defense answer is here.
We're at the 3-minute warning, 2:52 to go before halftime. It's 7-6, Montreal leading. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you with us. Tiger Cats in Montreal for this Eastern semifinal. And the Alouettes lead, but not by much. They lead by a point. 7-6, 2:52 to go before halftime. We expected this would be a close battle. Tiger Cats, yes, they lost all 3 to Montreal in the regular season, but they had a lead in all 3 of those games. The fourth quarter, in particular, Montreal has dominated in the meetings this year. They've outscored the Tiger Cats 39-7 in the fourth quarter. So a long way to go before we get to that point. Tiger Cats would like to get in front. They've got a big 2nd and 10 here. Alouettes have the football on their own 51. Fajardo back to pass, and Jameer Thurman comes in with the sack. It's a big loss, and a little dance by the Ticats middle linebacker and leading tackler this season.
Wow. He came in like a flash. I mean, Fajardo had no time to even set his feet to try to get out of the way when Thurman wraps around to the right side of the defense there, and he gets on Fajardo immediately for a 11-yard loss there.
Big hit by Jameer Thurman, brought to you by My Insurance Broker. Jameer Thurman on one-on-one tackles is as good as anyone in the CFL. He's just so strong. Joseph Zima, the punter, and he's a very good punter for the Alouettes. He was their special teams player of the year. Tyreek McAllister just gets it at his own 20. He'll get across the 25, but I don't think he got to the 30. So Montreal with really good punt coverage.
They've just been fantastic at it. I mean, a great punt there from Zima, 49 yards. They limit the return 9 yards or so, and that's a net 40 for you, and that's what they've done all season. Their average on the year is the best in the CFL, and they proved it last week against Hamilton. Honestly, they winning that battle for sure. But here's Matt Schultz again on his own 30.
So Matt Schultz and Bo Levi Mitchell with a tablet on the sidelines. Handoff goes to James Butler, fakes to the right, tried to go to the left, but the Alouettes have really put a stop to this Ticats running game that came out pretty good, but Alouettes defense has adjusted. A couple of yards on that James Butler run.
One of the things we haven't talked about yet, RJ, there has not been a penalty in this football game. And we're coming to the end of the second quarter here. The Ticats, unfortunately, the most penalized team in the CFL, averaging about 160 yards lost on penalties each game, and right now neither team has had an infraction.
I think the coaches talked about that before the game.
It sounds like it.
2nd and 7, Tiger Cats on their own 33. Matt Schultz might be changing the play, just gets that one off, and now he's back to pass, but he's under pressure and he's sacked. The Alouettes answer with a sack of their own. Sean Lemon, he led the team with 9 sacks in the regular season. Gets that one, that pushes the Tiger Cats back even further, and now they will have to punt.
Yeah, well, there you go. You've got a battle of field position, a battle of field goals. You get a sack from the Ticat defense, a sack from the Montreal defense. It's tit for tat all the way down, coming, like I said, to the end of the second quarter here. Sort of waiting for one of the big players on either side here to break this thing open with a big gain or a big reception, big turnover, a defensive battle.
Still lots of time. Minute 40 before halftime. It is a 1-point lead for Montreal. Corey Vedvik standing on his own 11-yard line to punt this football. Now the whole field is in shadows, started with bright sunshine. Corey Vedvik's kick, it's a great punt. That pushes James Letcher Jr. back to his own 31. Casually running, waiting for something to open up. Stayed on his feet for a while, but there's Jameer Thurman on special teams coming in to make the tackle, and the Alouettes won't get to their 40.
Yeah, what a great job flipping the field there by Vedvik. That was a 46-yard net punt there, putting it all the way back behind the 40-yard line of Montreal. Of course, the Ticats offense unfortunately had a net loss of 5 yards in the last drive, so giving up a little bit there, but giving the opportunity back to their defense to try to stop Fajardo.
Alouettes begin this drive on their own 39. Just over a minute to go before halftime. Fajardo gets the snap, takes one step, throws to his right, and it's incomplete. Dexter Lawson in on the coverage. Cole Speaker was the intended receiver, and he's been quiet so far in this game.
Well, Montreal has the best defense, has the best average opponents' completions downfield. They do not allow big plays through the air. The Ticat defense, as we've talked about all year, they've done a great job as well. But this game it's pretty dramatic. We are not seeing the ball thrown down the field in big chunks. It's just neither offense is taking that chance.
2nd and 10, Fajardo, he's throwing over the middle, and a big hit on Austin Mack. Kenneth George Jr. hits Mack just as the football got there. It's incomplete. That big hit brought to you by my insurance broker.
Well, maybe that's why, I guess. It is not easy to do. You've got guys like Stavros Katsantonis.
Well, and maybe it was Stavros who threw the big hit. George just held Mack there.
That's right. That's Kenneth George Jr. and Katsantonis were right there at the top, but it was number 30, Katsantonis, like we've seen many times this year, who actually was the physical aggressor there. And man, it's just not easy to throw into these defensive secondaries.
Stavros has to be talked about on the other team's offense because
he did it last week too.
Yes, on Austin Mack, their top receiver.
In fact, on almost the exact same place on the field, except Mack was running from right to left from his perspective, and now...
Yeah, he's going to refuse that route next time.
He may.
Tyreek McAllister gets it at his own 20 and waited for something to open up, and nothing did, and he's hit, brought down. There's been nothing there for Tyreek McAllister in this game. He might have got past his 25, but the Tiger Cats will start inside their 30.
Wow, it's a defensive slugfest. It's a punting contest. That was another great punt and punt coverage from the Alouettes. McAllister getting hit with some physicality. It's a brutal game out there. It is
playoff football.
Yes, and it's just which defense is gonna give up a little bit here, because right now neither of them are.
Less than a minute to go before halftime. 4 receivers to the right. Matt Schultz looks that direction. It's tipped and intercepted. It's tipped and intercepted. Darnell Sankey, he got the tipped football, picked it off, and he'll be right down near the Hamilton 30 with 50 seconds to go before halftime. Unlucky as that ball was tipped. Sankey got it, but a terrible time for a turnover for the Tiger Cats.
Terrible, and that's the second turnover they've had. There is an injured player on the field right now. So the key here, RJ, the thing that you've got to hope for as a Ticat fan, first of all, your defense is playing fantastic. That was a tipped ball, so not strictly a mistake, but a great play from the Alouettes. But the clock is running out. You've got to hope that your defense can continue their solid play, but also potentially just not let the Alouettes drive down the field, though they do have a short field to go.
Glad to see who the Tiger Cat is. A couple of players around him on one knee being looked at by the Tiger Cat's terrific training staff.
Keandre Smith was there at the top of the throw.
So was Sean Thomas Erlington.
Yeah, it's Sean Thomas Erlington who is being evaluated.
Garrett Davis, Brandon Revenberg, both right there with their helmets off. Sean Thomas Erlington, he was the game star last week, had 80 yards rushing, had a couple of tackles in the game. He chips in, he knows how to throw a tackle, but there was a bit of a scrum bringing Sankey down after the interception. And Sean Thomas Erlington is on both knees right now. Seems to be alert, answering questions. Meantime, Montreal with a big turnover. They have won this turnover battle against the Tiger Cats every time they've gone head-to-head, and it has been decisive. It's currently a 1-point lead for Montreal, but they'll have the football on the Hamilton 30 after the Darnell Sankey interception. Tiger Cats defense could really use a takeaway here. Alouettes in a huddle. Back at about the 37-yard line. Tiger Cats defense has been so good. Fajardo 6 for 11, so just a little over 50%, 85 yards passing. There hasn't been a touchdown in the game. Montreal after the turnover on the Hamilton 30. Fajardo back to pass. He's looking for the touchdown, has a receiver. It's Austin Mack, and it's a touchdown for Montreal. They wasted no time. First play after the turnover, Fajardo to Mack, and the Alouettes extend their lead 13-6, and a convert coming up.
Well, there you go. Twice a turnover has given the ball to Montreal, and like you said, this time we haven't seen the ball thrown down the field at all, and they waste no time. Mack with a great route right in front of the Ticat bench, down the sidelines there, and a beautiful throw from Fajardo. Casey Sales almost able to get into the backfield. Got a hit on Fajardo just as the ball was released, but that was a great throw and catch there for a 30-yard touchdown to take a big lead.
Currently a 7-point lead for the Alouettes. David Cote getting set for the 32-yard convert attempt, and this one is good. He was just inside the left upright on a field goal attempt. This one was just inside the right upright, but he's been successful so far in this game, and it's a 14-6 lead for Montreal with 44 seconds to go before halftime.
Yeah, not a whole lot of time here for Fajardo to try to move down the field, but you know, I think your goal right now, RJ, is to try to get into field goal range with these 44 seconds that you have. And we'll see. That is unfortunate. I mean, we talked at the top of our broadcast about the turnovers, specifically about the turnover ratios in the 3 regular season matchups between Hamilton and Montreal, which was heavily in Montreal's favor. They were +9 in those 3 games against Hamilton. And tonight, you've seen 2 turnovers that have both been costly. One killing a Hamilton drive that looked like a scoring drive taking shape, and then this turnover here deep in their own end, leading to an immediate touchdown. It's very, very hard to outplay that, especially in such a defensive battle like we're having here tonight.
Trailing at halftime has not been good results for the Tiger Cats. They've trailed 9 times. They've won 1 of those games, and that was against Ottawa. They trailed by a point at halftime. Tyreek McAllister weaving his way through the Alouettes, gets across the 40, and then he stood up there by Tyrese Beverette. 37 seconds to go for the Tiger Cats offense to at least get into field goal range, like you said, Luke.
That's right. They're going to be on their 43-yard line here. You know, you probably need, depends, of course, how Mark Leggio is, but you would almost expect to give him an opportunity, even maybe up to 52, 53 yards. So you're going to need 20, 25 on this drive with 37 seconds.
I talked to Mark. He figures he can be 57, maybe close to 60. Okay. So we'll see. Tyreek McAllister on a screen pass off to the right, and he'll get across the 45. Maybe a gain of 6, possibly 7. 31 seconds to go before halftime. Montreal leads by 8. Tiger Cats wasting no time. It's a 2nd and 7 here. Matt Schultz, lots of time, and finally the whistle goes. Not sure what that...
Timeout Montreal.
Okay. That was probably the only thing that made sense because the ball had been snapped, the whistle went, but Jason Moss must have got that timeout in just ahead. So is he thinking they can get this football back?
Yeah, maybe. I actually just wonder if they didn't have the right personnel that they wanted to on the field there. The Ticats obviously moving pretty quickly, got back to the line of scrimmage there efficiently. You still kind of have just about 20 yards here to go, RJ. Now, if Leggio, if he's good for 56, 57, then less than that. But we'll see what you can do here in 27 seconds. And it's valuable points. It's 6-14 right now. Sort of an interesting spread. That single early on by Montreal has led to the 8-point difference after this Montreal touchdown, and 3 before half would be a much more comfortable feeling for Rolando Steinauer.
Tiger Cats just 3 touchdowns in 3 games against Montreal in the regular season. Don't have one yet today. Schultz under pressure. He's going to have to keep this football. He's got some open field ahead of him. He does not slide. He gets to midfield, and that'll be enough for the first down. Matt Schultz keeps it. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down. There's only 19 seconds to go, and Schultz has to be tired. Schultz still in there, drops back to pass, pressure coming again, and he can't get away this time. He's in the big arms of Mustafa Johnson, who had a big season for Montreal this season.
8 seconds left. You probably already can sense what I'm thinking here, RJ. That's a horrible field position to take a tackle for a loss there. You weren't quite in field goal range, but you're very close. Now you have a 2nd and 14. You have to get at least half of this distance needed to have a reasonable chance at a field goal. You saw the Ticats return a missed field goal for a touchdown last week as well. That's obviously a concern.
You have to be quick. Schultz throws over the middle. It's caught by Keandre Smith. He's tackled just across midfield.
Let's see, they're going to call it. That's the end of the half right there, unfortunately.
Okay. So if the Tiger Cats could have had an extra second, they might have attempted a long field goal. The half is over, and maybe some bad news for the Tiger Cats. Tyrone Riley, who's come on that offensive line and has been very good for the Tiger Cats, he's down right now, being looked at. The half is done, and Montreal leads 14-6. You talked about it in the pregame, Luke. The turnovers in the regular season haunted Hamilton against Montreal, and they do again today.
They do. You can't outplay them, especially in such a defensive game. One turnover can break it wide open, which is exactly what you just saw. The last game of the regular season, the opening kickoff was a fumble from Tyreek McAllister with an almost immediate touchdown from the Alouettes on a short field. And I'll tell you, when you take the field as an offensive player and you're on your opponent's 30-yard line, there's some momentum. You almost feel like it's inevitable that you're going to score a touchdown, and you often do. This tipped ball at the line of scrimmage turned into a Montreal interception. In the following play, Austin Mack scores a 30-yard touchdown. It's just, it's a very, it changes things when you turn the ball over, especially in your own end. They're going to have to avoid that in the second half. That's a fumble and an interception that are changing things. And this defense for the Ticats, they're showing they can hold this Montreal offense, but a few explosives here and there are enough to make the score what it is, which is 6-14 in Montreal's favor. So unfortunately, you've got a very bad feeling in the air right now, right? It's
Yep.
What a negative ending to that first half, when in reality, I think this is a very close game as far as production from both sides. So we'll see if they can sort of establish a little bit of momentum to start this third quarter and regain some confidence here.
It's an 8-point lead for the Alouettes in the Eastern semifinal, 14-6. Tiger Cats at the half, presented by My Insurance Broker with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantus, is coming up. They'll be joined by Braden Neville of the Ticats Audio Network. He does such a great job on Ticats Today all season for the Tiger Cats. He's in Montreal on the sidelines. Bubba and Andy will speak to him coming up. Tiger Cats at the half, presented by My Insurance Broker, is next. Second half underway. Mark Leggio's kickoff. Tyson Philpott takes it inside his own 20, and he's up across the 30, the 40, and across the 50. A great return to begin the second half for Montreal, who lead 14-6.
Yeah, great return. Montreal with almost to center line here to start. Yeah, broke a couple tackles there on the way too, and we'll see this Hamilton defense. They have got to play their best football in the second half. The team needs it.
A half to keep the season alive. Montreal leads by 8. Handoff goes to William Stanback, and he is staying on his feet, dragging the pile with him. And that offensive line is pushing Stanback. That might have been enough for a first down, and it is. He was hit almost immediately, but stayed on his feet, and the offensive line got behind and pushed all the Tiger Cats back.
Yeah, that play started, and you thought this was going to be a 2nd and 9 for Montreal. Yeah. And it turned into a 12-yard gain for a first down across center field and across the Hamilton 50.
That is a statement for the Alouettes. They got that late touchdown off a turnover. They lead by 8. They have 8 points off of Tiger Cats turnovers. It's been a big difference in this game. Early second half, Alouettes down to the Hamilton 46. Fajardo fakes a pass to the left. Now he scrambles, runs to his right, throws on the run. Cut by Philpott, tackled by Will Sunderland. He'll be short of the first down. Right around the Hamilton 40. Looks like they'll spot it at the 41.
Yep, the second down here is that same field position we've talked about, especially in a defensive game like this. This is a great opportune time to get a tackle for a loss here. You saw the Ticats do just that early in this game, changing a field goal opportunity into a punt. Now they have the same chance here on their own 41-yard line.
Cody Fajardo looking at that wristband on his left hand. Makes an adjustment. Gets more blocking on that left side, and that's the direction Fajardo's looking. He's under pressure, and he checks it down to Stanback. Stavros Kansantonis comes flying in with a tackle, but it's enough for a first down by about a yard.
Well, they brought the pressure to do just what we talked about and try to get a tackle for a loss. Fajardo escapes that out of his pocket to the right and finds Stanback for the check down. Unfortunately, Chris Edwards unable to close that space prior to the first down. And Stanback sneaks past to reset the downs here for the Alouettes.
Opening drive of the second half. A good return by Tyson Philpott has set things up. Couple of first downs here for Montreal. They're down to the Hamilton 35. They're trying to get the run game going, and it's Stanback again. Almost the same thing. This time they blow the whistle, stopping his forward progress, but the Ticats didn't bring him down to the ground. A couple of carries for Stanback in this second half, and he hasn't hit the turf yet.
Yes, exactly. Carries and some receptions, being the check down there. And Montreal has, after what started with a great return, and now they're pressing close to the 30-yard line of Hamilton.
It's a 2nd and 7. Ball on the Hamilton 32. Montreal leads by 8. Just started the second half. Fajardo back to pass, looks left the whole time. It's a high pass, and jumping up was Jagarrett Davis. He got a hand on it, and he makes the sign of I missed it by that much.
We've seen Jagarrett Davis at times make unbelievable plays in the secondary, dropping back from a defensive end position. He was trailing Stanback in the flat route there, and it was close to being an athletic near interception. Instead, he'll get credit for the break up there, and the defense is able to get off the field, forcing the field goal.
Big play, Jagarrett Davis. What a season it's been for him. He'd love to make a big impact in this Eastern semifinal. That was a great play. This is going to be a 40-yard field goal attempt for David Cote. He is 2 for 2 in this game, and this kick is up, and it is good. He's 3 for 3, and Montreal extends its lead. It's now 17-6 for the Alouettes. Tiger Cats trailing by 11. We're early in the third quarter. 11:19 to go in the third quarter. We will take a break with Montreal up 17-6. Be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. That has to be the theme song for the Tiger Cats. Now into the second half. Montreal scores on their first possession, extending their lead to 11. Still early, third quarter. Matt Schultz in the football game. He went 10 for 16, 99 yards passing and an interception in that first half. He's got time here, and he's throwing deep near sideline. It's caught by Omar Bayless, and he did all he could to stay in bounds. The officials are conferring.
Wow, they're chatting about it. Okay, there you go.
He got it. He made the catch. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
That took a full conference between the officiating crew to make sure that this was a catch. And
that's as close as you can get, Luke.
I don't love how close Omar Bayless made it. I mean, he caught the ball cradled at his chest, but his toe could not have been any closer to the sidelines. Either way, it stands. Ticat first down.
Yeah, Tiger Cats have to snap this football before Alouettes get too many looks at it. This moves them up to the Alouettes 48. James Butler has the football and a nice run off to the left. Cuts up the middle. Almost broke it. He got down past the 35 of the Alouettes. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down.
Great job. Inside run from the right to the left. And as he breaks through that line of scrimmage, he gets a second burst all the way past the first down marker. That is just the way that the football game works. You get an explosive play and you follow that up with another big run. It's just a momentum is a real thing. Chris Van Zyl is in the game now. He's had an up and down season, and he's playing right tackle now for the Ticats.
Tyrone Riley got injured right at halftime. Onto the Montreal 35, a handoff to James Butler. He is stopped this time. Won't have much on that carry.
Van Zyl slow to get up here, actually. Excuse me, not Van Zyl. Let's see here. Jordan Murray, I think, is actually slow to get up off the ground. That's not good. You've already got, as you said, Tyrone Riley out of the game.
Jordan Murray has been excellent for the Tiger Cats. Really has solidified the run game and the pass protection since he's come in. He is a mountain of a man. Chris Van Zyl, so much experience. That's got to help. Down to the Montreal 31. This is important 2nd and 6. Matt Schultz stays in the pocket. He's going to run it. And he's tackled from behind. Darnell Sankey, who had that big interception late in the opening half, brings Schultz down. I don't think Matt even saw him. He tackled him from behind, and he'll be short of the first down.
Really, it's a tough position there. Schultz, the pocket breaks down when he's very, very deep behind the line of scrimmage. And it's a 2nd and 6 there. You know you have to gain, quite a few from being back, dropped into the passing position there, and nothing going. I mean, he tries to escape there, but there's a lot of Alouettes right in the box still, and that's going to force a Leggio attempt.
Mark Leggio, he's 2 for 2 in the game. This will be a 39-yard field goal attempt. Gordon White's snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is good. Mark Leggio has been extremely consistent. That's 15 in a row he's hit, including all the Ticats scoring in this game. It's 17-9. Alouettes lead with 8:34 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break. Be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. That's it. Winner moves on to the East Final next week in Toronto. The loser's season is finished. Right now, Montreal has the lead. It's 17-9. Both teams have scored a field goal in this second half. 8:34 to go in the third quarter. Still lots of football ahead. Tiger Cats defense on the field against Cody Fajardo. Fajardo has 3 receivers to the right. That's the field side. Looks over the middle. Now he's eyeing the right side. He's on the move. Malik Carney closing the gap. Fajardo throws, and he's throwing that one away. Carney was right there and forced the throw away. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Great job in the secondary by the Ticats. It was very clear Fajardo was right in not throwing that ball. There was nobody open there, and the Ticats did a great job of taking the space out at the top of every receiver's break. Fajardo wise to throw that one away. He ended up very, very deep in his backfield as he rolled to the right there, trying to escape pressure.
Tiger Cats in black helmets, white jerseys, black pants with a gold stripe. Alouettes all blue with the red trim. They're on their own 40 on this 2nd and 10. Fajardo back to pass, pocket closing. Now he's scrambling, and he is brought down. Jagera Davis, the ball pops loose. Jamal Davis picks it up, and he's got the football inside the Montreal 30. Fajardo fumbled. Jagera Davis with the sack, and Jamal Davis with the fumble recovery. Huge turnover for the Tiger Cats defense.
Wow. The 2 turnovers in the first half from the Ticats, both costly. We said you can't outplay it, and Fajardo trying to do too much here. I'm worried that this is going to get overturned.
The play is under review by the command center.
They're reviewing it now, and it looks to me, RJ, like this is going to get overturned. He looks like his rear end was on the turf by the time this ball came loose. And what a swing this is going to be either way if this stands as a turnover or gets overturned. As it stands, the Ticats have the ball inside the Montreal 30-yard line.
Tim Croker, the referee, has had most of the Eastern semifinal off. He hasn't had to call a penalty. Haven't heard much from him.
Yeah, not a penalty yet in this whole game.
That's right. So this should be huge. Tiger Cats trying for a turnover. They're going to take a look at it. This is under review. Jagera Davis. He's had a couple of great plays in back-to-back series now. You can tell he's playing for his career, wants to keep it going. Tim Croker looks like he's getting the information, nods his head.
After automatic review by the command center, it's determined the runner was down by contact. It's 3rd down Montreal at the 40-yard line.
Okay, you're right, Luke. So they had to look at it in slow motion, but Cody Fajardo was down, not a fumble. But the Alouettes will have to punt. So the Tiger Cats will get the football, and this could be just as dangerous with Tyreek McAllister, a chance for a big return. Tiger Cats Special Teams Player of the Year, the rookie McAllister, wears number 35. He's hovering back near his 30-yard line. Joseph Zima, an excellent punter. Alouettes lead 17-9, midway through the 3rd quarter, and Zima hooks this to the left, trying to keep it away from McAllister, and this goes out of bounds inside the 20.
Yeah, wow, what a big kick as it turns out. That's a 52-yard net.
We'll take another break. Montreal leads 17-9, 7:35 remaining in the 3rd quarter in the Eastern semifinal. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you with us on the Ticats Audio Network. We appreciate you tuning in all season long. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker, about midway through the 3rd quarter here, and Montreal continues to lead 17-9. Matt Schultz and the Tiger Cats, tough starting field position beginning from their own 18. 3 receivers to the right. Tim White has been quiet. He's been targeted once. This ball was tipped, and it was almost intercepted. Probably should have been. It was another tipped football, went right to Avery Williams, and he dropped it.
Yeah, going to Tim White on a little sail route here at the sidelines, a nice little intermediate out route, and it looked good. Like you said, though, that ball was tipped, and boy, it was close. Really, the Ticats cannot afford another turnover, certainly not when they're at their own 18-yard line.
There is a flag, first penalty.
Holding. Hamilton, number 59. That penalty is declined. It's 2nd down.
So Jordan Murray. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Another tip pass from Matt Schultz. And Hamilton's lucky to have this football. That should have been intercepted from their own 18. Tiger Cats trailing by 8. Matt Schultz drops back, pressure's coming, and he stays on his feet. Now he scrambles, throws deep down that far sideline, and Tim White, no, it's Chris Osikusi, makes a great catch from the seat of his pants, but he might have been out on the sideline out of bounds.
Well, the play starts, Matt Schultz, it looks like he's going to be sacked in the backfield very quickly. He escapes to the left and finds Osikusi, but it's very strange what happens at the top of this here. It's almost like as he adjusts to the ball, Osikusi, it's thrown over his head, and he's unable, He is. He's unable to keep his feet, and he ends up sitting on the sidelines as he actually makes the catch, unfortunately.
Great catch, but he was out of bounds. James Letcher Jr. He's going to give Montreal good field position. Tiger Cats were punting from deep in their own zone, and Letcher Jr. brings it across midfield, close to the Tiger Cats 50. So Montreal will begin in Hamilton territory when we come back. It's 17-9. Alouettes leading in the third quarter. 6:47 to go in the third. This is the Ticats Audio Network. This has been a great segment all season long where we find out where our listeners on the Ticats Audio Network are tuning in from. How about in Kincardine? Pro Nitro. What a name.
Excellent.
I
absolutely love it. Superhero.
The Tangent Social Club. Gary let us know in Northwest Alberta listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Chad Kronk, since the Riders aren't in, he's listening in Calgary. And Renata in Pembroke. So tons of
excellent
great listeners. Want to thank you all. Pro Nitro. Pro Tasker.
I love it.
6:47 to go. Third quarter. Montreal, good starting field position. They're beginning from the Hamilton 51. Cody Fajardo, a delayed flip to stand back, and the Tiger Cats closed the gap. Jamal Davis part of it, so was Chris Edwards. And every time Jamal Davis makes a tackle or a big play, he eyes that Montreal sideline, the team he started this season with.
He is fired up with that. That's a great play by the Hamilton defense. Unfortunately, that was a 33-yard net punt for Hamilton. They slowly lose yardage on this when they trade these 2-and-outs with Montreal. And Montreal, this is their third time starting in Hamilton territory.
But that play helped. It pushed Montreal back a couple. It's a 2nd and 12 from the Hamilton 53. Fajardo throws over the middle. It's complete to stand back. He makes a nice move at midfield, and that bought him some extra space. Stavros Katsantonis had to make the tackle, and he's down to the Hamilton 35.
Yeah, I mean, just really, really deep concepts from the Montreal receiving core. Deep sort of scissor cutter concepts with a post and a corner route crossing each other, and the whole secondary was 25 yards deep, and Stanback with the check down able to get the first down there.
Huge fake by Stanback on Chris Edwards, and that allowed him to get the first down and put Montreal in good position. Play action, and Fajardo now dancing his way through. Edwards trying to make the tackle, and Fajardo gets a couple of extra yards with Edwards wrapped around his waist. He's down inside the Hamilton 20. It's another Montreal first down.
Well, big to Stanback and then big to Fajardo, and like we talked about, that's just the way that drives go. Fajardo does a great job here. He sets up in the pocket to make a throw and just takes advantage of a vacant front there and able to get way more than his first down.
Fajardo's had some big runs in the game. In fact, he's the Alouettes' leading rusher. He's rushed for close to 40 yards. Under 4:40 to go in the third quarter. Alouettes threatening again. They're down to the Hamilton 16. Fajardo looking, throws to the left. It's picked off. Richard Leonard with the interception, and they're saying he's down. So he'll be down pretty deep in Hamilton territory. Richard Leonard's third interception against Montreal this season. This might be the biggest one. It stops sure points for the Alouettes with a defensive pick.
It sure did. You're exactly right, RJ. It robbed what would have been sure points after what was looking like a great drive from the Alouettes. Now it's way back in Hamilton's territory. So the Hamilton offense is going to start on their own 6-yard line. I'm trying to, it looked like it maybe shouldn't have been called dead there, but it was. They're going to say Austin Mack was touching the foot of Richard Leonard as he was on the ground. Hard to see in even the replay, but great job by Richard Leonard. That is the kind of plays that this team's going to have to make in the last quarter and 5 minutes, what's left in the third here.
Jason Moss, Luke, has thrown the challenge flag.
It'll be they're challenging pass interference on Richard Leonard to see if he inadvertently made contact on Austin Mack as he went up to make a play on the ball. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
The previous play for pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
Jason Moss has not been afraid to challenge. This is his 13th challenge this season. He's only won 3 of them. Richard Leonard, really the a veteran in that secondary for the
Yes, he
Tiger
is.
Cats. This could be a huge moment in this game. Tiger Cats thought they had a turnover earlier in the third quarter. That got overturned. We're going to get another look at it, and I want to get your opinion, Luke, before Tim Croker gives the official call after the review.
So I'm going to say that it is not pass interference. I think that you have to have, you can't take away the opportunity for a player to make a play on the ball. And Richard Leonard is clearly coming up to try to catch this football. You know, we'll see. There is contact. Like Richard Leonard, his lower body is contacting Austin Mack at the point of the catch. But imagine, RJ, this in my opinion, this is how you think about this. Imagine if the offense and defense were switched. You would say that Austin Mack didn't do a good job of defending the pass. You know, there was no, you know, Richard Leonard has every right to go and try to catch this football. So I'll be very disappointed if this is overturned. This should be a Hamilton ball. I'm more concerned if Richard Leonard was actually down.
Yeah, it didn't look like Austin Mack had touched him. And then Lawson came over to push Mack out of the way, and here's the call from Tim Croker, the referee. The decision.
After review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah, there you go.
Montreal will be losing a challenge, is now out of timeouts. First down, Hamilton.
So it's a big turnover for the Tiger Cats. Richard Leonard, an important time in this football game. Tiger Cats down by a 17-9 score. And Montreal was knocking on the door. They were looking at least 3 more points, maybe more than that. And the Tiger Cats, with that turnover, negate the opportunity. Can the Tiger Cats make a big drive here? They're starting from their own 6, and it starts with a handoff to James Butler. And Butler, motivated, able to go up the middle, gets a pretty good gain on first down. He'll be close to the first down.
100%. If the Ticats are able to climb back and win this game, that moment right there will be the game-changing moment of the night. That was absolutely a heroic interception from Richard Leonard, and we'll see. It's second down right now. You got this offense has a lot of field in front of them to earn here.
3:42 to go in the third quarter. It's a 2nd and 2. Tiger Cats up to their own 14. High snap goes back to James Butler. He's hit in the backfield. Did he get enough? We'll have to see where they spot the football. It's going to be really close, and it is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. You had to know JB was going to get that.
Yeah, he did, and honestly, I'm sure we would have seen Kyle Loxley come out on the field if he hadn't here. 3.5. Now it's 3:10 left in the third quarter, and it is go time for these Ticats.
Alouettes leading 17-9, under 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Tiger Cats trying to get back in it. Fresh set of downs from their own 16. A play action. Schultz has time. Nobody open. He's got to keep the football, and he's running. He's not sliding, staying on his feet, and he gets about 6 or 7 extra yards. It is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling, and Matt Schultz sacrificing his body for that first down.
Yeah, and you need a couple of those from Matt Schultz in a game like this. He really stole that away from Montreal. I mean, they did not give them that first down, and Schultz just refused to end that play without gaining the ground he needed, and just a great effort there from 18.
Schultz 6'2", 205. He is tough to tackle, and he proved it there. Another big run from Schultz. So the Tiger Cats up to their own 29. Back in the hands of James Butler. A stutter step. He gets across the 40. Brought down right near the 45. It's another first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Fantastic job. First down on their own 44. This drive started on their 6-yard line, RJ, and you just don't know. It's hard to dig yourself out way deep in your own end like that, no matter how the night's going, but they've had their handful of 2-and-outs this evening, and you could not afford one on this drive, and they didn't. They're moving their way towards midfield now.
Still a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Montreal leading by 8. James Butler gets it again. Breaking off to the left, gets to the 50,
Good
and
run.
he's brought down there, yeah, a hard run for James Butler, and he's helping Alouettes up. That's how much energy he's got.
Good job. Keandre Smith coming onto the field. Tim White going to the sidelines.
A couple of yards short of the first down here.
Yep.
Tiger Cats in a huddle. 2nd and 3 is what it is officially. Tiger Cats, as Luke mentioned, began from their own 6. They're up to their own 51, close to midfield. Matt Schultz, Omar Bayless was going to cut in front. Now it looks like he'll block. James Butler gets ahead, and he's across midfield. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with that first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. James Butler, they're relying on him for 2 or 3 every carry, and he's doing it.
He's doing a fantastic job, and they're eating up the remainder of this third quarter here as it ticks down to 20 seconds. James Butler always falling forward, and he's running with a great energy right now, a playoff energy.
Not much time to go in the third quarter. 10 seconds, clock is running. Tiger Cats now in Montreal territory, just across midfield on the Montreal 54. James Butler, play action, he goes into block, and Schultz' pass is knocked down. Sankey was there to knock it away. Alouettes have been able to knock or tip a few of the Matt Schultz passes in this game. It'll bring up a big 2nd and 10, and that'll happen in the fourth quarter. We're through 3 quarters in Montreal in the Eastern semifinal, and the Alouettes lead 17-9. Fourth quarter is coming up on the Ticats Audio Network. Coach O is stuck to that mantra, and the Tiger Cats got into the playoffs despite a lot of injuries. Adversity always says that's the one thing that's guaranteed. Now they've got a little more adversity. They're down 17-9. We're just about to begin the fourth quarter. And in 3 meetings against Montreal this season, the Tiger Cats have been outscored 39-7 in the fourth quarter. Montreal has dominated. Tiger Cats, to keep their season alive, have to change those fortunes in this quarter. Winner of this moves on to play in Toronto next week. And that will be a tough test. This is a big 2nd and 10 coming up for the Tiger Cats. They got just across midfield. They began this drive on their own 6 after Richard Leonard got the interception, taking away sure points from Montreal. And the Tiger Cats have been able to move the football, trying to keep the drive alive here in the fourth. Down by 8 points. 2nd and 10, Matt Schultz, 2 receivers to the right. That's the boundary side. That's where he looks, and he throws. He completes the pass. Omar Bayless down inside the Montreal 40. It's a first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Great catch, Omar Bayless. He's right in front of the Tiger Cats bench, and he runs up and runs a 12-yard curl route and is really efficient at the top of his break. Schultz with great timing, and this is an impressive drive, probably their best of the game right now. RJ, of course, early on, they put together a great drive, ending in a turnover. Got to hold on and secure this football, but you're doing everything you need to do right now.
Down to the Montreal 39, Schultz, he's going to keep it, and he has no intention of sliding. It won't be a big gain this time for Schultz. Got a couple of yards. Sean Lemon, the team sack leader for the Alouettes, made the tackle.
Yeah, a little quarterback draw there to Schultz, and just a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, and that's really kind of not what you like for a draw. There has to be some vacant space there, and that time Schultz didn't really have anywhere to go. Unfortunately, in another tough 2nd down scenario here with 9 yards to gain, but like you said, RJ, they did start this on their 6-yard line. I mean, this is a win of itself here, moving into field goal range.
Near sellout at Percival Molson Stadium in Montreal, and they're loud right now. Tiger Cats are down to the Montreal 38, 2nd and 9. Matt Schultz back to pass. He's got time, throws over the middle, completes it to Keandre Smith, and he is hit by Reggie Stubblefield. And this is going to be close to the first down. It looks like he's just a little bit short.
Well, I say you give Kyle Loxley a chance here. He's been just so money on short yardage there. You can see as Keandre Smith caught that ball, he was just shy of the first down, and he is very cognizant of ball security. as he should be, but in doing so, he was a little cautious there and unable to gain that extra yard. But here's Kai Loxley.
Kai Loxley under center. It's a 3rd and 1. Montreal leading by 8. Ball's on the Montreal 30. Loxley has been perfect in short yardage. And Marc-Antoine Descroix made maybe a touchdown-saving tackle. Loxley got through that left side, and he would have had a huge gain. He's not interested in getting a yard. He wants even more. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with that first down presented by Active Green and Ross.
Yeah, he's just got great timing with that, and you've talked about how athletic he is. We saw him score a huge touchdown as a wide receiver early this year. I mean, he's done a great job at that short yardage, and there's another one.
Keeps the drive going for the Tiger Cats. They're inside the Montreal 30 on the Alouettes 28. Schultz, screen pass, oh boy. Stubblefield read the play and almost picked it off, and he would have been gone for a pick six. He couldn't make the interception. It's incomplete, fortunately, for the Tiger Cats.
They were setting up a wide receiver screen to the right side off of a little swing route, and the reason that Stubblefield's able to see this is that Tim White who's setting up for the reception. You know, his body language says that, and the other receiver setting up for that block, it's sort of, there's no mystery to it. The whole thing looked like a wide receiver screen, and Stubblefield almost made the biggest catch of the night there, which would have been an interception.
And might have been football game. Instead, 2nd and 10 from the Alouettes 28. Schultz under pressure. Oh, he's trying to stay on his feet. He can't. That's a big loss, and that's going to make a tough field goal, a much tougher field goal than it would have been.
Very close to making you think about whether or not you want to give this a shot. Leggio is taking the field now, and from holding for a number of kickers, it is not easy to be getting ready for a 35-yard kick, and now all of a sudden you have a 47, 46-yard attempt. Just, you know, mentally as you take the field, that's not easy to do. That was a very, very bad sack for the Hamilton offense to take there. Montreal's
defense has been their bread and butter this year. Came up with a big play, and this will make it challenging for Mark Leggio. It will be a 46-yard field goal attempt. Gordon White, the long snapper, right on the money. Corey Vedvik the hold. Leggio's kick. It's up. It is good.
Money.
From 46 yards out, that's 16 in a row for Mark Leggio. And the Tiger Cats creep a little closer. It's now a 5-point game, 17-15. Montreal leads, 10:55 to go in the Eastern semifinal. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. 17-12. Montreal leads the Tiger Cats, just under 11 minutes to go in the game. But that is a huge 3 points the Tiger Cats just got. Richard Leonard, the interception, deep in Hamilton territory. And then a great drive by the offense to get into position to get the 3 points. 5-point football game. Montreal back on the field. They'll take it from their 40. And Williams Stanback tried to get something going, runs into the arms of Jagarrett Davis and Malik Carney, and maybe got a yard or two.
Yeah, really impressive job to come off of their 6-yard line into field goal range. That sack was scary. And Leggio, that was a playoff field goal there that he made, and it brings it back to a 1-point game. I mean, this is very interesting. And this 2nd down for the Ticat defense, boy, this would be a big stop here to force a 2-and-out.
16 in a row for Mark Leggio. Montreal up to their own 42, 2nd and 8. Fajardo back to pass, pressure coming. He's running to his right, throws on the run. Has an open receiver. Malik Carney makes the tackle. This will be really close. Looks like it might be enough. Jake Hardy made the catch. And Montreal got just enough for the first down.
You thought that the rush was going to get to Fajardo. Chris Edwards blitzing. Simone Lawrence also bringing pressure, but Fajardo ready to escape to his right and find Hardy, who then, a little shiftiness there to move the chains. Good job there from the Montreal offense.
Just under 9.5 to go. Clock is running. Montreal up to their own 50. Play action. Fajardo, he's throwing deep over the middle. And it's caught just over Will Sunderland and caught by Philpott. And this will be down to the Hamilton 37. Tiger Cats are arguing that he didn't make the catch.
You can hear that audio there. That's Jagger Davis arguing that the ball was still being fumbled up or, bobbled up on the shoulder pads of Phil Pott.
Oh, he might have a point.
And this officiating crew saying he had control. We'll see if a challenge flag comes in here. Very, very close as we take another look.
Coach O on the sideline, doesn't look like he has the red flag, so Montreal has the ball on the Hamilton 37. Fajardo, low pass, caught by Phil Pott, tackled immediately by Chris Edwards. And that might be a loss. Won't be much of a gain anyway.
Now here's that interesting field position again now for Montreal. A tackle for a loss is a very damaging play here offensively.
Yeah, and they might have lost one there, Luke.
Yeah, looks like they did.
So they're back to the Hamilton 38. It's a 2nd and 11. 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the game. It's a 5-point game. Clock is running. Fajardo throws over the middle, and he completes it. It's caught by Tyler Sneed. And Montreal converts the 2nd and long, and they get a lot more too. They're down to the Hamilton 15.
Yeah, man coverage there from the Ticats. Sneed starts to the Montreal left there and a little patient crossing route. He gets leverage right away on Kenneth George Jr. and gets extra after the catch.
Alouettes starting to convert some difficult 2nd downs. They're in business again. Down to the Hamilton 15. Handoff goes to Stanback. He's tackled immediately. That's Dylan Wynn. And Dylan Wynn has that eye of the Tiger Cat going right now.
Yes, he does. We've seen this sort of rhythm to Montreal tonight. A big stop by Hamilton, a 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10. And then we've seen some explosive conversions from the Alouettes. Of course, Richard Leonard ending the previous drive with an interception in this same field zone going the other way in the previous quarter. They could use something like that again right now.
2nd and 9 from the Hamilton 14. 7 minutes to go in the game. Montreal up by 5. Pressure coming. It's checked down. Jake Hardy almost fumbled it. And he hangs on. He bobbled it on his way to the end zone, and he gets a touchdown.
Boy, the check down routes today against this Ticat defense, and it's hard to do. If a quarterback is checking the ball down, that means that his 1st, 2nd, and 3rd options have been covered. He couldn't throw the ball downfield, but the check downs have just been so damaging to the Ticat defense. We've seen so many yards after the catch, and this time it turns into a Montreal touchdown.
Montreal scored the only touchdowns in the game. Hardy bobbled that ball with nobody around him and was able to maintain possession, gets into the end zone. It's 23-12, Montreal leading, and a convert coming up for David Cote. Cote's convert is good, so it's a 24-12 lead for the Alouettes. 12-point lead with 6:33 to go. That's all that remains in the Eastern semifinal. Tiger Cats will try to make a comeback when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. 6:33 remaining in the Eastern semifinal. Montreal leading 24-12. Tiger Cats have scored 12 points. They'll have to score another 12 just to tie. Montreal will kick this football off, and Tyreek McAllister. He's the Tiger Cats Special Teams Player of the Year. He's capable of a big return. Tiger Cats could sure use one now. Here's the kickoff. McAllister drifting ahead up to his own 23, running up the middle. Jeshwin Antwi, the backup running back, makes the tackle on McAllister at the Tiger Cats 40.
Well, RJ, you said at the top of our broadcast this afternoon, only 3 touchdowns the whole season the Ticats scored against Montreal. They're going to need to put some on the board now after 4 field goals tonight.
We're going to take a break. 6:28 to go in the game. Montreal 24, Hamilton 12. This is the Ticats Audio Network. You want some drama? We've got it. Bo Levi Mitchell is in the game. 6:28 to go. Tiger Cats down by 12. This drive beginning at the Tiger Cats 40. Mitchell back to pass. Screen pass to James Butler. The check down, and Butler keeps going. Gets across the 45. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down.
Well, there you go. Orlando Steinauer pulling out the stops. He's going to give Bo Levi Mitchell, Grey Cup champion, he's going to give him a chance in a playoff game to make the difference, and it is a 12-point difference right now. They've got some work to do with just under 6 minutes left.
And the clock is running. It's a 2nd and 4 from the Tiger Cats 46. Mitchell back to pass. He's going to run. Hasn't run very often this year. He's running for the first down slides, and he does have enough for the first down. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down, and Bo Levi Mitchell with the run. That's the 6th time he's rushed the football this season.
Well, I'd love to get another look at this. I thought this was actually a little bit of a late hit. Maybe not. It's pretty close there, but Bo Levi Mitchell was going for the slide. Got the first down, though. Well done.
Bo doing what it takes. Didn't expect him to run, and it did. Gets a fresh set of downs. Tiger Cats move up to their own 51. They're down by 12. Just over 5 minutes to go. Mitchell throwing deep into traffic, and Omar Bayless had it for a moment. The football falls to the ground. Bayless falls to the ground, and his helmet pops off. Fabian Ento and Marc-Antoine Desquois were both right there. It's an incomplete pass, but Ento and Bayless both not feeling very good after that play.
Yeah, a lot of contact. Somebody's got to do something different there to make that a completion. The ball's got to be out ahead of Bayless, or Bayless needs to come back and meet it and not let the ball get into his body. Very, very close there. I think Ento's actually hurt from, hitting the ground at the end of that play. And I think Bayless is back in the huddle. He's okay, but just a lot of contact there. Very close, and I like the idea of Bo Levi Mitchell coming in and taking shots.
Bayless might have had that, Luke, if not for Desquois coming across and throwing that hit. Desquois, a lot like Stavros Katsantonis, both with 5 interceptions, tied for 2nd in the CFL this season, and throw those big safety hits. That knocked the ball loose. 5:04 to go. Bo Levi Mitchell is in the game. He came in with 6.5 minutes to go. His team down by 12. Big 2nd and 10 coming up. Tiger Cats up to their own 51-yard line. Bo Levi Mitchell in the huddle. Calm. Calling the play. This is a big one for the Tiger Cats.
Got to see if Tim White gets involved here in the last 5 minutes of this game.
You'd have to think so. He doesn't have a catch. Most outstanding player for the Tiger Cats has not been a factor yet. Bo Levi Mitchell back to pass. Pressure coming. They got him. They sack him for a huge loss.
Huge.
Sean Lemon got to Bo Levi Mitchell, and that will push the Tiger Cats back inside their own 40.
Yeah, that's a loss of 13, almost 14 yards on the play.
And even if they were in 3-down territory, they can't go for that now.
No, you can't. Unfortunately, this makes Vedvik's job a lot harder as well. He's trying to flip the field here, and he's pushed back before he has to do it.
Tiger Cats trying to get this ball snapped as quick as possible. Vedvik, another great kick. It's an excellent punt. Fletcher Jr., he was up near his 30, had to go back to his own 15 to get that punt, and the Tiger Cats track him down just past the Montreal 20. Unbelievable punt from Corey Vedvik.
50-yard net. That's a great kick. Well done, and that's exactly what you needed from Vedvik in that moment. And now you've got to play complementary football. This Ticat defense has to come on and be dominant.
Has to get a stop, has to give the offense time. And the defense has 2 touchdowns this season. They came early in the season. Chris Edwards and Stavros Katsantonis, the only defensive players for the Tiger Cats who have scored a touchdown. Tiger Cats could really use the defense getting some points here. Montreal will begin from their own 22-yard line. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go, and the play is whistled in. Clock is running. Montreal will take as much time as they can. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Cody Fajardo just getting into the shotgun now. Takes a look behind him. 3 seconds on the play clock. 1, the ball is snapped. It's handed off to Stanback, gets to the outside. He's past the 30, the 40, up to midfield. Stanback, his best run of the game. Takes the ball into Hamilton territory.
Well, that punt from Vedvik, as good as it was, has now been almost entirely negated in one play from Stanback. He just immediately gains leverage on the outside of the entire Ticat defense. Just a well-executed run block there from Montreal, and they're into Hamilton territory all the way up to the 50.
Stanback had 35 yards on 13 carries going into that, and that is a massive run for William Stanback. Takes the ball up to the Hamilton 50. And the Alouettes taking their time. They lead by 12 in the Eastern semifinal. Won all 3 games against the Tiger Cats in the regular season. This is the one that matters, and Montreal is in control. 10 seconds on the play clock. Fajardo gives it right back to Stanback, and he's got another big gain. He's down to the 40. Looks like another first down for Montreal. He's inside the Hamilton 40. Back-to-back huge runs for Stanback, who was held in check until recently.
Yeah, and both off the left side of the Montreal offense, and Stanback with a nice cut upfield. He's a big body and a strong runner, and yards gained after that first contact too. He falls beyond that first down marker, and they're going to probably keep feeding him as they try to run this clock down as he heats up.
He's managed almost 50 yards on his last 2 carries after being held to about 35 yards on 13 carries previously. 1 second on the play clock, and Fajardo gets the snap. This time Stanback has nothing. Casey sails in on that tackle. 2:48 to go. That takes us into the 3-minute warning. Montreal leads 24-12, 2:48 to go. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network.
The Ticats Audio Network.
Great to have you with us on the Ticats Audio Network. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Is that all that remains in the Tiger Cats season? Cody Fajardo and the Alouettes. They're down to the Hamilton 41. It's a 2nd and 11. Tiger Cats need to stop. Fajardo, quarterback keeper, and he's across the 35, across the 30, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down.
Yeah, great run there from Fajardo. It's a quarterback draw. He sets up in the pocket, and there's space for him, and he's another hard guy to tackle. He falls forward, makes his way to that first down marker, absorbs a hit from Stavros Katsantonis, who is a physical player, and Fajardo's done a great job of making plays just like that when they're needed. On the ground tonight, he's made moved the chains a couple times, and he's gotten some explosives like what we saw on this drive from Stanback.
2:14 to go, clock ticking down. Montreal up by 12. Alouettes down to the Hamilton 30, and they give it right back on the ground to Stanback. Sails in there, part of the tackle. But Stanback able to get a couple of yards. Alouettes offense very careful at not turning the ball over. They did earlier. Richard Leonard got an interception almost kind of in this area.
Yep.
Tiger Cats moved it downfield, but could only manage a field goal. Under 2 minutes to go. 12-point lead for Montreal. Clock is running, and they'll take as much as they can. 2nd and 6. Ball's on the Hamilton 26. And I think there was a timeout called here.
You got to hand it to the Montreal offense here. I mean, the last week against Hamilton defense dominated that game, They came in today in this first half. The Hamilton defense played very well, but they're following up a previous touchdown drive here with another very successful drive that started on their own 20-yard line, and they're on the Hamilton 25 right now, eating up valuable time, precious time for Hamilton. But Montreal's offense has found a way in this fourth quarter to control this clock and to put points on the board.
And they've done this drive all on the ground. A couple of big runs from Stanback, Fajardo.
Yep, you're right.
And that's eaten a ton of the clock away.
You can see a bunch of talking. I don't know what's going on. A lot of Montreal players talking. They're pointing at Chris Edwards as the
Wow. Austin Mack is there, and let's go back to that first meeting of the season when game was over and Chris Edwards did the fake handshake and pushed Austin Mack to the ground, and it looked like it was Mack and Edwards having some words right here. Chris Edwards is unpredictable. Think back to a couple of years ago when he was with the Argos and Hamilton won that game. Things got a little crazy after that.
Sure did, yeah.
So clock running again. Montreal up by 12. They're on the Hamilton 26. Fajardo keeping an eye on that play clock. There's under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. 5, 4, and he gets the snap right at 2. Gives it back to Stanback. Tiger Cats need the stop. It looks like he's going to be a little bit short of the first down. Third down here for the Alouettes, and things getting physical again. Jameer Thurman involved with.
It'll be third down, and a field goal is valuable here for Montreal, but I don't see their field goal unit taking the field here. Fajardo's still out there. It would make it a 15-point game if they were to kick for 3 right now. Instead, Fajardo stays on the field.
Well, they may be attempting to.
Never mind. They're switching it off now as
thought they might try the hard count and lure Hamilton offside. So Jameer Thurman was pushing with Jamar McGloster, who's 6'7", 350 pounds. You wouldn't be in the same weight class if that was boxing or MMA.
Yeah, but you never put your money against Jameer Thurman.
Never. So David Cote, who's had his struggles this year, certainly has not had any struggles in the Eastern semifinal. He's been perfect. And this will be a fairly short attempt, 29-yard field goal attempt to make it a 15-point game. Cote kicks, it's right down the middle, and it's 3 more points for Montreal. It's 27-12 with 1:18 to go. It's an unlikely script for the Tiger Cats to manage a comeback, but that's the beauty of sports. You just never know.
We'll have to see a kick return attempt here in the last 3 minutes of the game. The offense can't take the ball on the 40, so we'll see if this special teams unit can spark something with 1:18 left for the Ticats. As a player right now, RJ, you're just saying to yourself and your teammates, if you get a chance to make a play, it's your time. You've got to do it. There's no choice but to be your best in this last minute and 18 seconds. And with this point difference here, which is 27-12, you kind of need all 12 players to have their best play all at the same time. I mean, a lot of stars have to align here, but it starts with effort and execution.
Well, you need 2 touchdowns, one of them with a 2-point convert. And the Tiger Cats have scored 3 touchdowns all season against Montreal, and we're into game 4. Tyreek McAllister. He'll be back to return this kick, and Montreal has done an excellent job containing the dangerous rookie. 1:18, 15-point lead for the Alouettes. David Cote's kickoff. McAllister runs up the numbers, gets across the 35. He won't get to the 40, so Montreal contains him again. Oh, Levi Mitchell comes on the field. If anyone can do it, Bo's been through it.
He has orchestrated a few fourth quarter comebacks in his career. So you're going to be taking shots as an offensive player right now. You want to, if you can, get out of bounds. In the CFL, you're afforded a little bit more time than in other leagues, but you do want to get out of bounds still. You want to get first downs, and oftentimes, RJ, also when we'll see these deep balls get thrown here, there's also that opportunity for pass interference very frequently as well.
Right. Tiger Cats from their own 37. Bo Levi Mitchell back to pass. He's got time. Throws over the middle. Almost picked off by Reggie Stubblefield. It's incomplete. Stubblefield could have a couple of picks in this game. He's had a great rookie season for Montreal.
Going for Omar Bayless there on sort of a deep post route between the hashes. Stubblefield had hands on it. He could have ended it right there. Ticats will get another chance here on a 2nd and 10.
Minute 7 to go. Ball stays on the Hamilton 37. Bo Levi Mitchell missed majority of the season due to injury. Tim White, he's been quiet in the game. Mitchell throwing deep down the far sideline. Ball's up, and it was intended for Tim White. Picked off by Marc-Antoine Desquois, and he's just interested in running time off the clock. He's not even trying to run upfield. He's just standing, waiting for the Tiger Cats, and then finally goes out of bounds. Bo Levi Mitchell tried to go deep. It's picked off by the Montreal safety, Desquois. 49 seconds to go. Montreal has the football, and it looks like they're going to advance to the East Final. A lot would have to go the Tiger Cats' way right now for them to make up these 15 points.
Yep. Like you said, they were trying to get the ball to Tim White, and you know that's objectively sort of a good decision to do, but too late in the game. You know, a guy like Tim White needs to be making a difference from the first quarter in a playoff game like this, and unfortunately they were not able to do that. 49-yard line is where Montreal has the ball, their own 49-yard line there, and yeah, this is probably going to be it for the Ticats, RJ. And you know, the turnovers were certainly impactful. The Ticats stealing one back with Richard Leonard's interception, but still the giveaways were costly. And this Montreal offense really turned it on in the fourth quarter. They were able to control the clock here.
49 seconds to go. Ball on the 49. William Stanback has the ball in both hands. He has the ball wrapped up. He knows the last thing he can do is fumble it. And now there's something going on. Chris Edwards is in the middle of it. And flags are flying, and Chris Edwards looks like he's calling on the Montreal sideline. A couple of Tiger Cats are trying to contain him. And there's a whole scrum of players right near the sidelines where both teams are. So both sidelines hovering over. Everybody's in this.
Yeah, well, Chris Edwards threw a punch after the play. There was actually one of the crews on the officiating staff ended up on the ground. Not really sure. I didn't see exactly how that happened. That's never a good thing when one of the referees ends up in an altercation. Chris Edwards, like you mentioned, RJ, you kind of called that one from the start. You could kind of see that brewing throughout the fourth quarter, especially the history with number 24 and some of the events that have happened after games just like this. And this with 43 seconds left, they've still got to finish the football game, but the sidelines are cleared out. There's players all over the place, coaches all over the place.
Yeah, that scrum basically went over between the two sidelines, so all the players are over on that side, and Tim Croker, the referee, and the rest of the officials trying to contain things. 43 seconds to go. There's the Alouettes are up by 15 here. They're going to win the football game.
Playing Imagine in the stadium there in Montreal. Some good humor there from the stadium crew. Okay, so we're getting another look at the end of the last play there. It's Chris Edwards
on Jake Hardy.
On Jake Hardy, the wide receiver, who starts the whole thing. But players start rushing in off the sidelines, effective right away there, and you actually saw, you know, staff and coaches being held back by officials by the time it was all done. So it is a very emotional moment when you realize that your season's ending, and that's what's going on for the black and gold.
I talked to Chris Edwards earlier this year, and he said he hates to lose, but it happens, and there's you got to lose with grace too. There's a good winner and a good loser, and Montreal has won this football game 27-12, maybe more. It's still 43 seconds to go.
Yep. If you caught a little bit of that audio there's conversations about suspensions, and of course that doesn't mean much for the Ticats. That would be a very costly thing for the Alouettes. If they were to lose players for a game, of course, as they travel to Toronto for the Eastern Final next week.
So Chris Edwards looks like he might be thrown out of this game. And he was motioning to the official, so maybe Hardy had done something to Edwards. Edwards was motioning like his face mask was grabbed.
The only punch I saw thrown was from Chris Edwards. I don't know that, and that is generally an actual closed fist punch. That's going to get you an ejection from the game and a possible suspension. So, haven't seen. I didn't see anything beyond Chris Edwards' punch, but who's to say what happened? There was dozens and dozens of people involved by the end of it.
So we're waiting the official. We saw Chris Edwards head to the locker room, so we can surmise by that he's out of the game. I'm sure Tim Croker will have an announcement. He's at midfield with the rest of the officials.
Again, what is it, second down, RJ? I'm not
it
really
is,
sure.
yeah. William Standback had about a 3-yard run, so it'll be second down.
43 seconds left in the game here.
It is almost irrelevant. So 43 seconds has taken about 10 minutes.
These are just bitter moments in your athletic career, and you don't want it to be this way, and it's gotten very ugly here at the end. You don't want it to be that way even as a losing team. It's sort of salt in the wound, honestly. It doesn't, at least in my opinion, it doesn't make you feel better that these altercations and scuffles at the ends. It's just, you kind of wish this to just end at this point. But the Ticats it's just a horrible moment in the life cycle of a football player.
And now they're singing goodbye. The fans, not unexpected. 15-point lead, 43 seconds to go, and still discussions going on here between the officials.
So they're looking for, Jeshurun Antwi is being chased by the officials as he has to leave the field.
And he actually was swinging his arm. He didn't know the official was right behind him. Actually hit the official. It was accidental. But Jeshurun Antwi, who has played mostly special teams in this game, it's been all William Standback at running back. Antwi came running on the field and went after Edwards.
I think that might be the extent of it. This may involve the referee. Like I had mentioned, there was a referee on the ground, and we can't tell who that was. It's just black and white stripes that are sideways instead of vertical. That's all you can see. But it may be involved. Jeshurun Antwi's ejection, maybe. Here we go.
Here's Tim Croker.
There are multiple fouls after the play.
He's got to read it.
All misconduct fouls. Against Montreal, we have unnecessary roughness against number 19, 15-yard penalty. We have unnecessary roughness, Montreal 20 for coming off the bench, 15-yard penalty and an ejection. We have major foul against Hamilton number 24, rough play disqualification, 25-yard penalty. We also had 2 unnecessary roughness penalties for 15 yards against Hamilton 80 and 90, both coming off the bench, both disqualifications. The difference is 25 yards from where the ball went dead. It's first down.
So that'll pretty much do it now. That'll move Montreal ahead even more into Hamilton territory.
I think they did a pretty good job sifting through that, actually.
Yeah, Tim Croker and the officials did a great job. He did have to read that, but you can't expect anyone to memorize all of that. A lot of numbers and penalty yardages in there. Well handled by the officials. That could have really got out of control because it was over by the two sidelines. The scrum that was on the field went over there where all the players were. And they were able to calm things down.
Yeah, 4 ejections total there between the two teams. And like I said, it's just chock full of bitterness and emotion.
Chris Edwards, Mason Bennett, Omar Bayless ejected for the Tiger Cats. Jeshwin Antwi ejected for the Alouettes. And Fajardo takes a knee. That first down is enough for the Alouettes to be able to just let this clock run down. And the Tiger Cats had so much hope going into this game, despite losing 6 in a row against the Alouettes. You'd think that streak would come to an end eventually, and players seem to be getting healthy at the right time. But it was not meant to be. Montreal too good. They'll win a 7th straight against the Tiger Cats. They have to take one more knee to make it official.
And unfortunately, 2 of those 7 are playoff games, including tonight. And twice in 12 months, they've ended the Ticat season.
It's over. The Montreal Alouettes win the East semifinal. They move on to play Toronto in the East final next week. And the Tiger Cats 2023 season comes to an end. The Alouettes win 27-12. Time now for the Access Storage recap of the game. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. It was a close game for a long time, Luke. Where did it go wrong for the Tiger Cats?
Started with the turnovers. They turned the ball over twice before that Alouette interception, and the Ticats did make something out of that interception by Richard Leonard, but it was too late. Turnovers were damaging to start for the Ticats, and then after that, what was really interesting, this was a defensive battle of a football game until the 4th quarter. Montreal was able to find rhythm and production offensively. The Ticats were not. And there you go. That is a better football team moving on to the Eastern Final, and the Ticats just were not able to establish it enough. And again, unfortunately, RJ, you see quarterback, controversy, quarterback disruption from the very start of the season when Bo Levi Mitchell first was injured all the way through to the playoffs, where tonight you have both guys trying to make it work, and Schultz and Bo Levi Mitchell, neither of them were able to really establish anything productive. So that's gonna be sort of the memory and maybe one of the unfortunate themes of the 2023 Ticats.
Tiger Cats got off to a slow start again. They started 0-3, came on toward the end, never had more than a 2-game winning streak, and they had 8 of their 11 losses this season against Toronto and Montreal. Both Montreal and Toronto beat them 4 times. Other than that, they went 8-3 against the rest of the league, and unfortunately, those were the 2 teams they had to go through if they were going to make it to the Grey Cup.
Yeah, that was a tough storyline to enter the postseason, and Ticats not able to overcome. It is going to be an interesting East game. This Montreal Alouette team has a very good defense, and if they can continue some of this success with Stambeck and Cody Fajardo into Toronto, we'll see how the East shapes up. But of course, you've got a Toronto Argonaut football team patiently waiting for these Alouettes, who have been the Argonauts just dominant through the season. So the Ticats, unfortunately, are going to find their way to the 3rd. They'll be locked in at the 3rd position in the East here, and boy, I just feel for the players in this locker room and this trip home from Montreal, especially after the bitterness that sort of was the last minute of this game. Not easy to take, and I'm looking at Simone Lawrence and Ted Laurent, Chris Van Zyl, Brandon Revenberg, a lot of these long-term Ticats, and you just hope that there's some better things still in the future of their careers as they head to this Montreal locker room.
Well, the 2023 season had some ups and downs for the Tiger Cats. They had 3 starting quarterbacks, injuries. Their kicker and punter, who they began the season with, they left. They brought in new kickers and punters. Tim White, most outstanding player, didn't have a catch in this East semifinal. It was a slow start for the Tiger Cats again, a good finish to get into the postseason, but not enough. They lost the East semifinal. Their quest to win their first Grey Cup since 1999 will continue in 2024. But there's still football in Hamilton this season. The two best teams will play in the Grey Cup on November the 19th. Great events, all Grey Cup week in Hamilton. It will be a fantastic show. And we want to thank so many people who make these Tiger Cats broadcasts possible on the Ticats Audio Network. Bob Young, Scott Mitchell, Matt Affinick, Dave Cadeau, Peter McEwen. David Butko does a great job producing a lot of the content on the Ticats Audio Network. Michael Steyer makes us sound great for every broadcast. Our statistician, Jeff Girodat, excellent all season long and on air. Great talent, great former Ticats, Rob Hitchcock, Mike Moriali, Bill Kelly has joined the Ticats Audio Network, Louis Butko, Brighton Neville, Coach Sal, Mike Daly, Courtney Stephen, Bubba O'Neill, Andy Fantuz, of course Luke Tasker, and all our great guests. And we want to thank you, the listeners, for tuning in to Hamilton Tiger Cats broadcasts all season long. The final in Montreal. The Alouettes beat the Tiger Cats 27-12. Tiger Cats postgame with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantuz is coming up next. For Luke Tasker, I'm RJ Broadhead. Thanks for listening to Hamilton Tiger Cats football on the Ticats Audio Network.
Streaming live at listen.ticats.ca. This is the Ticats Audio Network.